everybody. Welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. Sean Higgs coming at you here on Monday, the 10th of March. As always, Chirimbes, Doug Upstone joining me here. No NBA today. We'll get to some college basketball tournament action in just 1 minute. But before we get to that, we got to get to the business. Like, share, subscribe, notification bells on so you know each and every day when we come in here with NBA free picks, which we swept the board, I believe, on Thursday, last day with the NBA. College basketball, which we're 32 and 25 on. And, of course, the live show on Fridays. Again, like, share, subscribe, be part of the Winner Circle YouTube channel. Leave a comment. You could always leave comments, please, before the game starts if you're going to say who you like. Or after the fact, you want to come in and say we stink. That's fine as well, too. Any what to say? All what is the thing they say? No matter, all the news is good news. There's some kind of saying. I don't know what it is. I butchered it. There's no bad press. Whatever the case may be, leave a comment here on the YouTube channel. Again, free pick action, our premium stuff, our best bets, all of that is at our sponsor, gamblersworld.net. That is where you get all of our premium action. Again, we try to hit all the free plays. We want the free plays to win, so you make money, but we also have our top plays. Gamblersworld.net is the spot to go to get all those, and no better time than today because we have the second wave, all the big tournaments starting up here on Tuesday. All the big boys. Then we get the regular tournament. Get that March Madness package. There you go. $229 through the Big Dance Championship game in April. You get all the tournaments. You get signed today. You're going to get Horizon. You're going to get Starch Madness in the Big Sky. Plus all ACC, Big Ten, Big East, SWAC, not Southland, but we got the MAC, the AA MAC, the MEAC, Knick-Knack, Paddywhack. They're all there in the conference tournament. Yeah. CAA, well, we'll get the championship game for the CAA tomorrow. We got you covered here. If you don't want that, how about a day pass? Multiple games up daily from Doug, Chip, myself, whether it's hockey, Doug leading the way there with his 62 ridiculous percent, crushing on the ice. Chip's number one NBA. College basketball for me. You want a day pass, $69.99, go get it. Or a 3-7 30-day package. Listen, the college basketball package is good for $229. A 30-day pack is guaranteed a 30-day pass. We show you a profit over that time or we credit you back. Can't beat that. 3-7 30 days guaranteed. And there's the all access $69.99. Woo! Lot of money to be made, folks, because it's a good time of year. It's tournament time of year, Doug. What do you think? How was the weekend for you? What do you got going on here on Monday and also on a Tuesday, because we're looking at Tuesday games. I'll get to those second. They're Tuesday games here on a Monday. The NBA card looked like garbage today. I was like, you know what? Let's pass on and talk some college basketball. But how was your weekend overall with everything else?
Everything is going well, Sean. This month, 26 and 13 in the month of March. So March Madness has been going well across the board. College basketball had a nice sweep yesterday. So that recent runs of 12 and 5, and in the last 16 days is 24 and 13 college basketball. NBA 5-1 and 1 most recently. And the hockey has cooled off in the context of I was running at about 66% for most of the season. Now I'm winning about 5 out of about every 8 games. So, and, I got a method that I follow, and, I didn't expect it to perform perfectly all season long. So, but, still, hey, you know what? You win 5 out of 8. If you do 5 out of 8 decisions in life, that's not bad either. Okay. So Personally, I'm very pleased with what's going on and look to just continue it to take care of business in March Madness. And I got a couple of plays up tonight. I got a game of the day, my best bet for Monday, or you can buy a 2-pack. And I got a couple games that are semifinal games going in college basketball tonight.
61.6% in hockey. Nobody's complaining about that. So, not too bad. And last 7 days, 65%. Okay, I think that's pretty good as well. Doug's heating up for us in March as we turn the clocks or spring them ahead, whatever the hell we do. Something, I don't know. They're automatic. I know I just got to move my head an hour. Chip, how was the weekend?
Well, here's what I have to say about this. I'm glad we're not doing any NBA today because since the All-Star break, it's been atrocious. And Doug, I know what you say. There's a friend of mine named Wes Reynolds, handicapper extraordinaire out here, who has a term, and he says, overtime is where underdogs go to die.
Yes.
And I had 5 of them in the last week and lost 4 of them by half a
Oh,
point.
my
And the
goodness.
Knicks with a 10. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. I won
It
a
is.
lot of those early in the season, and now they sort of like, what I say, the chickens have come home to roost. I don't know what that means, but I'm getting smacked around in the NBA. But I have one game in the NBA tonight. I didn't do anything in the colleges, and for the next couple of days, I think we've got some really. How do we go, Doug? We have a plethora of opportunities, and so I'm looking forward to the playoffs. Always done very, very well in the playoffs, particularly in March Madness. So let's get it rolling. And thank you for avoiding the NBA today.
I like Wes. He's a good guy. I hung out with him at Circus Swim when I was out there in August. I like Wes. He's a big golf guy. He loves the golf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
He's got a tee time at 12:12 today. So
and golf. Sean. He's you for college basketball. That's what Wes is with golf. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, now no big plays. I mean, everything's like a quarter or half a unit, but he has 15, 18, 20 plays every golf tournament.
And he takes players like to finish in the top 10 or top 20.
Oh,
and,
yeah, that's
as opposed, and I
Well,
think he had
money.
a streak. He won like 3 weeks in a row. He had the winner, and he had quite a streak in golf. He really, and whoever thought about handicapping golf? I mean, really.
I did.
Oh,
I do.
We got
yeah,
one,
you're a hockey guy too, so we will talk about that another time.
Hockey players, by the way, many hockey players are very good golfers.
Yes, they are. It's a natural
Right,
part of
right,
it.
absolutely. Yeah, in fact, many of them play left-handed, even though they're right-handed, because with with the stick, that's what they do.
That's what I did.
That's
I
why
played left-handed when I played hockey.
Happy Gilmore is based on a true story of a hockey player turning to pro golf.
Exactly.
And this is real. They're really doing a sequel, like 30-something years after the fact. What the hell?
Yes.
Can we stop ruining my life, folks? Please.
You
Stop
got to
doing
ignore
the
these
remake.
things, Sean. You got to walk. You got to just turn a blind eye to certain things.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you don't have to watch it. It's
You don't
okay.
have to go. No, you don't.
I
You
know.
don't this is
I
one
know
thing
that.
about this country. We have the freedom of choice. You can either go to the movie or not.
I didn't watch that Beverly Hills Cop remake nonsense. So they did Beverly Hills Cop 4 on Netflix.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the new Red Dawn, Vacation, RoboCop, Total Recall. None of it. No. The new Star Wars was terrible except for Rogue One. No. Stop it. Stop.
Hey, they make money on it. No question about that.
It's all that matters.
Terrible.
I mean, Chevy Chase did 16 vacation movies, didn't he? He went to Europe. He went to Disneyland.
Yeah.
He went everywhere.
I don't even like Christmas Vacation. I'll say it. We'll start up the pot. Christmas Vacation's terrible. It's terrible. I don't like it. Now, Nick Papagiorgio, his son in Vegas, hilarious. Guys winning cars on quarter spins. I could get into that. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
No. Burning down a Christmas tree in your house with a squirrel in it? No. Not funny. No, it's terrible. Anybody's put up a Christmas tree, that's your worst nightmare is it's falling over. No, I don't like that. And I like Chevy Chase. Funny Farm is hilarious. Love Funny Farm. Anyway, now people are going to be like, that's it. They're turning off now at the 8-minute mark. Let's turn our attention to – we have the NCAA Tournament. We're excited, right? That's coming up 2 weeks. Tomorrow, though, or today, depending when you're watching, we have some of the big boys here. We got the Big 12. We got the ACC tipping off. A couple other conferences going. A little lower tier teams here. So we're kind of, I don't say scraping the barrel. I don't want to offend the fan bases here, but these teams, safe to say, they got a lot of work to do if they want to keep their dancing shoes on, even for NIT kind of stuff. We're going to start with you, Chip, here.
Yeah.
The lines, again, folks, we're using a little composite of some different areas here with the lines. There's no lines currently posted here. No totals. We're going to talk about just a side number here. Cincinnati looks like it's going to be about a 6-point favorite to open up here, which I'm going to say I think it's probably going to be a little lower. This is a high number, I think, for a neutral between a 12 and 13 seed. And Cincy, I think this is a spot where if they are a 6 seed, or excuse me, a 6.5 favorite, I might look to them here as a lower seed. You're going to be favored over 5-6 points on a neutral over Oklahoma State. Nearly identical teams. One's 15 and 16, and one's 17 and 14, both 7 and 13 in conference play. The weekend was Oklahoma State just won this game as an underdog, and then they're going to come back as a decent-sized dog on a neutral. I'm impressed with their 7-3 ATS run because, again, you're getting points. A bad team getting points and recovering, I kind of like that. Your side on this, you can see where I'm kind of leaning a little bit on this game, Chip. But what do you think? Cowboys, Bearcats?
Well, I don't know why you give me the ugliest game on the board with two teams that I absolutely hate, and I don't want anything to do with either of them. No, I passed on Oklahoma State on Saturday, and they were an underdog outright winner over this Cincinnati team. So it's back-to-back matchups. Not knowing what the line is, the number, you still have instinct on the game. And my first instinct was that it would play to the under. Then I'd see Oklahoma State's defense is like 298 actually, and they're giving up 76 points a game. Where Cincinnati, the only way they win is by defense. They're holding opponents to like 65 points and number 25 in the nation in that category, but they don't score. They're in the same category. They're 272 on offense, and Oklahoma State is 217. So it's I was looking to play under, and then you guys, we realized here that as an underdog, Cincinnati was a beaten favorite the last time out, and now we're coming up with a strong number here. So this is a game I'm sure I'm not going to use because I told you I have an affinity with the Bearcats of just always being on the wrong side of this team, and it doesn't matter who they're playing, Xavier or whatever. But I'm going to take Cincinnati here. So I think your best bet is to probably think about fading me.
Listen, official play here for the show, Cincy again.
Yes.
We got to see where this line's officially at. Probably be at in a few hours. I like the Cincy, especially if it's going to be on the higher side here. Doug, thoughts?
I'm in complete agreement. Okay, with you here, and Chip. Some of the points he made are some of the same things I have to say. The other aspect too, the Bearcats now have lost 3 in a row, and I think that they played Houston tough, a couple games back,
right.
And it just seemed that whatever energy level that was put into that game, they just really haven't recovered from it, and losing 3 in a row. So with the new life again, having an immediate turnaround, I think that works to their advantage, despite how Oklahoma State's been covering, but not necessarily winning a lot of games. Okay, in this case, so I think the line will probably be 4.5 or 5. That's my guess. Okay, on that one. So I actually like Cincinnati to get the job done too.
Yeah, good look there. Again, both teams 7-13 in conference play. So again, similar teams. They are what they are. Cincy does though have those 17 wins. So you figure if they get a win here to get to that 18 spot, maybe they pull off another miracle. At least they can probably look at an NIT bid as a Big 12 school with 18 wins. They probably they're going to knock poor little slip out of
a 4 seed there. Come on,
yeah.
There'll be a 4 seed in the NIT.
They'll hurt one of my little guys. I don't know, something kind of like Albany and Bryan or somebody will get knocked out. They'll lose a championship game, and then here we go. Let's bring a 7-win team out of the Big 12 in. But official pick here, we all agree, Cincinnati Bearcats. We like the kind of high line. It's kind of telling you something there. Cincy is the play here. Get Chip's best bets here on Monday and Tuesday, though, if you're watching Tuesday, at gamblersworld.net. He'll be loaded up with games he likes and teams he wins with on the Tuesday in tournament action here. Be sure to check him out on gamblersworld.net. Now, on to Doug here. The ACC, a 2:00 game here. We had a nice 12:30. Now we got 1 and 2. We're gonna just build your bankroll all day long here. Pitt. Again, here's another one. 4.5 over Notre Dame. It's another 12-13, and the higher seed is favored. Again, these kind of spots, I automatically kind of look towards that, and especially when it's more than a 1.5 or 2, you're like, hello, why is this line going to be this high? I Notre Dame on Saturday, given 3. You got to be kidding me. 100. That's the way we go down in that game. 113, 112, 112 to 110.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, it took them 4 overtimes to get that, which the game before they played to like a 55-56 game or something like that. I mean, just bizarre. Listen, we got 4 in a row here for Pitt coming in. It should have been 5 in a row losses, but you played BC, who, since the ACC wants to take in the Pac-12 teams, they don't even make a tournament anymore. They said, you know what? We can't even put the real bottom tier teams in here because we have so many. Pitt's not playing good. Notre Dame's not playing all that great. I want to lean towards Notre Dame myself, Doug, but what do you think here?
Well, I watched Notre Dame quite a bit this year to my own, just because I'm a fan, and so wasted a lot of my time. So I have that. But a lot of close games this year. And if you watch Notre Dame, most of the year they were with 4 minutes to go, they were either up a couple or down just a few, and never closed them out. Okay, just time after time after time. You can look at it however you want, if it's coaching, whatever it happens to be. Now, their last 2 games, though, Sean mentioned the Cal game, unfortunately for him, and they also then beat Stanford this past week, 56-54. So at least they have a little, let's just say, momentum of feeling good about coming into this game. Pittsburgh, it's just the usual thing for Pittsburgh. Okay, fast start against non-conference team, come into conference play, take a dump, all done. 3-8, their last 3-8 recently, 4-6-1 against the spread. My guess here, Pittsburgh, and we got 4.5. It's probably going to be, I would say, probably 3 tops at this point. They lost to Notre Dame recently, despite the fact of shooting 51%. Okay, so that's not easy to do. But I'm going to lean with them here. I mean, Notre Dame just doesn't have much. Not that Pittsburgh has a lot more, but they have a better variety of players than what Notre Dame does. They have some incentive Pittsburgh does from the previous loss. And so I'm going to give out Pittsburgh as the play. But actually, if I would recommend to look for this. Once the lines are out and then once the props are out, okay, if you can find Marcus Burton of Notre Dame, and you can get him for anything of 24.5 or less, I would take the over on Marcus Burton of Notre Dame because he is the best player on the floor, guaranteed.
There you go, a little player prop from Doug here. Marcus Burton. And again, the official pick for the show is Pittsburgh here, minus the whatever. He thinks it's probably going to be at a 3.5. And I tend to agree. I think this one is a little higher than what it will be based on how Pitt has played. And I think, like I said, Notre Dame's got a couple wins. Maybe the line gets shaded the other way. We'll know in a little bit here. Chip, what are your thoughts on this one?
What's the number you have on this game, or your projected number?
4.5.
And who's favored?
Pittsburgh.
And they just lost their last 4, including a loss to Notre Dame, right?
They lost 4 or 5.
They lost to Notre Dame this year, but doesn't that seem a bit strange that they'd be favored after having dropped four in a row? They've covered once in the last 8 games. I got Pittsburgh. What can I tell you? Notre Dame's been a disappointment. I mean, both of them, really. They're both 13 and 17 and 13 and 16 against the number. But coming in losing 4 in a row, usually these are the teams, or not usually, but oftentimes these are the teams that just get up and bite you in the tournament because no one's expecting them to do anything. So I'll take Pittsburgh here, and that number's worse than the other one.
Yeah, Pitt they had lost 4 in a row, but then they just beat BC to end their season. So, but that doesn't count because BC has 3 wins. So that's
they ended the 4 games. They beat BC by 35 points. All right. Oh, no, I'm not so crazy about it. I had a reverse. I had BC beating them and them coming in with 4 straight losses. So I apologize.
But that's even – I don't even give that credence because BC's totally lost.
Yeah,
again, Doug's pick here is on Pittsburgh. Doug's premium plays are at gamblersworld.net. You saw the hockey run, 61.6%, 19 and 10 runs, 65% of late here, last 7 days for Doug, on fire. Get his premium action at gamblersworld.net. Now, to close out the day here, we're going to go back into the Big 12 afternoon action. Colorado, TCU. Here we go. Couple teams. Colorado, winless on the road. You got to love that one. That's what I got to love. The fact that, much like the Cincy game, these guys just played on Saturday. Colorado won at home there by 9. What are we doing here? This is Buffalo for me. I'm taking the Buffs. Let's go Buffalo. I'm 0-10 on the road. Of course they're going to come into the Big 12 tournament and upset TCU and the Horned Frogs here. Again, I see their 7-3 little ATS run. When you're getting 6, 7, 17 points or a bunch of points, it's easier to cover. This game here it's a 2. Again, projected. I think this is probably projected correctly too, because TCU not playing well. I mean, you just lost to a Colorado team has played bad all year. They are 3-17 in the conference. 3-17.
Yeah.
I could put together I could find a couple 20-year-olds and you could probably go 3-17 in the conference. But I love this kind of ugliness. I'm taking them. Colorado, you want the 2? You want the money line? I'm saying Colorado outright winner, Buffalo. Chip, I know this is right up your alley. You talk about.
I don't think I've been involved in a TCU game the whole year. And if I did, I didn't win it. It was one game, maybe. How can you take Texas? The Horned Frogs have gone over 10 times in 31 games this year. They're definitely an under team. I'm disappointed that I passed on this winner on Saturday. Colorado comes in. They've dropped 3 of 4 against TCU. I don't know. I think the game goes under. I think it's going to stay under. They're familiar with each other. Absolutely. Only saw each other like 48 hours ago or 72 hours ago. So I'll play the under in this game. It's crazy. They're 20-10 to the under with a push. And they went over a 150 the other day. How's that even possible? I mean, you're 10. I see this at the end of the year. I think you guys could kind of agree. You start seeing these end of the year trends and total numbers. You're like, where the heck was I? How did I miss this all year? Because it's probably like, it probably goes like 2-1, and then there's 3, and then like, maybe I get back on this, and it loses, and it's always like a 7-2 run. You're like, I'm never catching the right game. 20-10 to the under. Holy cow. Doug, what do you think?
Well, first of all, I don't want you to catch any heat. That's my first thing. TCU actually won by, I'm sorry, Colorado won by 20 on Saturday. Okay.
Oh, 20. Okay.
Yeah.
I wrote 66 instead of 56.
Okay, there you go. All right. So that was so decisive. And normally I like, I don't play all of them, but I like this turnaround situations here. But geez, that is a butt whipping on that, and to take that, and then also the thing that I looked at is that take out TCU scoring 89 points against Central Florida. In their other 5 games, they have averaged 60.3 points per game. Okay, so not a great situation. Hop on the Buffaloes, baby. Get a seat. Okay, on top of that one and ride it home.
And they average out to 60. It's because they put 69 up on Texas Tech. Otherwise,
right.
It's 56, 58, and 55 at a 63 in there. I mean, that's
scoring at all.
Scoring 60 a game.
I mean, again, I'm not a Jamie Dixon fan at all. I think the guy's always been an overrated coach. Stayed too long in Pittsburgh. Went to TCU, got it going right away. I think they got to the final or to the final 8 or the Elite 8, I think, a few years ago. But then, as is always the case, things start to go downhill. Okay, with him, and this is where TCU is now.
It's you think Texas as a whole, they'd be all right, like as a state with their players, and the fact that you get some bad teams like this, it's crazy.
Well, there's a reason why Friday Night Lights was about football.
I know, but you look at like a team like, North Texas, is a smaller school. I mean, there's so many, Incarnate Woods in their quarterfinals for their thing. There's a lot of talent here. How do these Power 5 schools not produce?
Well, especially when they're willing to pay the money. That's the other thing too. I mean, I was thoroughly enjoyed last night. Omaha and St. Thomas. That was a fun game to watch. And fortunately for me, I had the over on that one. But I like with St. Thomas. What they play, and their coach, who is a very, very smart guy. I don't know if you heard the one little anecdote they had in the first half about him. Was a former college professor. Okay, different stuff and different things about studying of people's perceptions of how they look at life, and so really a smart guy. But his thing going into that school was that we're not going to get great athletes, so I'm going to be able to just find guys that can shoot. Okay. And, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
BYU kind of does that. You bring in guys that are really good shooters, and you just knock them down, and you can win a lot of games that way.
You just brought up BYU. I was going to say, I saw in like bracketology or one of those matrix kind of nonsense they have Omaha playing BYU in Denver. Like, what? Like, you can do that to like Omaha. Like, let's put Denver in. It's not a home game, but there's elevation. It's something they're more used to than you got to put Omaha there. It's terrible. They love this destroying the mid majors. They will not give a mid major a shot to really knock off a team.
They're also looking for attendance because the last thing they want on any of these games is to have 200 people there. So it's not like the town of Omaha is going to show up. Now, if Creighton was playing there, that'd be different. Okay, but Omaha not gonna draw a lot of people, and obviously BYU people can travel there much easier. And this year they're definitely
make believe though, right? This isn't game. This is a make believe game we're talking about.
Yeah, correct, right?
It's technically, but it's the way they run their thing. They say that's going to be the matchup.
We still got a playoff to go, and I think there's some teams going to be jockeying around after this. If they're not finalized where they are right now, they still have a full week, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Well, yeah. Listen, a team like BYU comes in and wins the Big 12 or gets the championship game, they're going to move off a line and maybe move up a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. So I think it's awful difficult to project these two teams playing at a certain venue.
Oh yeah, I just get it again. I looked at it last night. I don't worry about like people like, oh, we got to see who's in, who's out. I'm like, just roll the bracket out on a Sunday at 6:00 and get the lines up fast. Let's go.
Well, see, and I like the fundamental difference here. Chip wants to know who's playing. Okay, that's what he's interested in. Sean likes to have his little things that he likes to imagine who's going to play, and neither one of them are wrong. Okay.
And it's crazy like that. I like college basketball. Like I can't name a player. I don't know who is playing, and I do okay with it. Chip's number one in the NBA, hitting like 56, 57% or whatever, and he doesn't know who's playing until like 5 minutes before the game starts. But he's putting them out a whole day ahead of time.
But you bet teams, not players.
I know.
I don't know how you do it, Chip. I congratulate you.
Has a leading NBA scorer ever played on the championship? No one has ever led the league in scoring. That year has been on a championship team.
Really? Not even Jordan?
I don't think he led the league that often in scoring.
Yeah, right. I have no idea.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that.
That'd be a good fact of the day.
Even when, you had Chamberlain, you had a lot of guys that did that. That just didn't win the years that they were leading. This year, that kid from Oklahoma, Alexander,
yeah,
he's something else.
He is amazing.
And that Anthony Edwards from Minnesota, my goodness. What he can do out there is just.
Going to recap the picks. Again, we are doing this Monday afternoon. The lines are not up. This is, again, for Tuesday. First game is, I believe, at 12:30. We got a couple 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock games. We're using a little combo line, so they could be much different. All right? So just – Don't shoot the messenger. Don't come in the comments like, all right, why are you guys giving out fake? We're telling you these aren't the real lines. These are what we kind of think they're going to be around. Take it with a grain of salt. The lines will come up. You'll see what they really are. You heard our little thought analysis on what we know of this moment. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and Colorado are the 3 picks here. They're scrolling. They're all right there. Chip's happy. He's like, I don't know the line is. That's my opinion on here. He's not happy. But you'll be happy if you head to gamblersworld.net and get our premium plays. You know what? Because we know exactly what the line is, what the total is, who's playing, why we like it, why it's going to win, whether it's hockey, NBA, college basketball, from Chip, Doug, or myself. It's all at gamblersworld.net. Daily pass, $69.99. Individual packages vary. It's a great time to get a March Madness package, $229 through the big dance. What else? Why not? You want the all access, a 30-day package? Okay, it might be a little more, but you're going to get all sports. And if we don't show you a profit, we're going to credit you back. A week, a month, it's all right there. 3 days. You want something for championship weekend, right? The weekend's coming. You want something for all the championship games. Get it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know. I'm throwing out ideas, trying to make you guys a couple bucks.
I'd go Thursday, Friday, Saturday because there's only 4 games I think, or 5 games on Sunday. So I'd go
yeah, they're all the championship
Saturday. A lot more variety.
Yep. Yeah. Or you want to go really crazy, you go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday because that's the day one of all the tournaments. So you're going to get loaded up games. But all right. Chip, I don't know if you have anything today. And this day in sports.
Yeah, here's what I got. I have one game out there in the NBA. I passed in college. But, today is March 10th, and there are some things I could tell you that happened in this date in sports history, if you're willing.
Go with it.
1988. Oh, excuse me. 1888.
Oh, come on.
John L. Sullivan fought to a draw in a 30-round match. 30 rounds. Nowadays, they don't even go 12 for championship rounds. They go 8 and 10. Well, they go 10 in championship.
To me, it seems like yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I saw the movie when he fought, Gentleman Jim Diamond Brady, whoever they were fighting. On this date in 1934, the Toronto Maple Leafs, who haven't won an NFL championship, make that NHL championship. Doug, you're the hockey guy. When's the last time they won?
I want to say 1962.
67.
67.
But not a bad guess because this is like ancient history, right? In 1959 on this date, Dorothy Comiskey Rigney sold the White Sox to Bill Veeck for half the price of Juan Soto's annual salary. And that was in 1959. In 1962, I believe it was the Philadelphia Phillies. Do they train in Clearwater?
Yes.
I think they're in Clearwater. They had to move. They moved out of their hotel or where they're staying during spring training because in 1962, the hotel they were staying at in Clearwater did not allow black players or black people, shall I say, whether player or not. In 1963 in the state, Pete Rose had made his debut in spring training, was 2 for 2. Same day, that night, Wilt Chamberlain scored 70 for the San Francisco Warriors. And on this date, milestone in sports history, 2018 in Iran, their first female televised sporting event was weightlifting. And the participants were 6 and 8 years old. You go figure.
There you go,
it, guys. That's it. I can't.
I tell you what, that's as well-rounded of a this day in history, Chip, as you've had. I mean, you covered a lot of ground there and a lot of time as well. So yes, all right.
He tricked us with the 19. I'm like 1988. All right, right in our wheelhouse, and then he hits us with the 18. And me and Doug are like, come on, man.
Well, I know you guys. See, the world started the day you guys were born. I mean, nothing before that counts. So it's the same with everybody. That when people think about their own personal history or history, they just don't go beyond prior to their birth date.
Yeah, well, it's the 1800s.
Yeah. You must have read about it.
And one little side note too for what Chip's thing with I don't think that was the last. It might have been the last year, but if not, it was the following year that hockey expanded because in 1967 it was still the original 6. So they played, I believe it was either 78 or 80 games against each other that many times. That's how it used to be in hockey. There's one for you, Sean. I bet you didn't know that one.
That is crazy.
I know. And 4 teams made the playoffs. That's how they did it back in those days.
How long has it been since a team from Canada has won the NHL title?
It was Montreal, but I don't remember what. Or no,
it's almost 30 years. I think.
Yeah, it's been a long time since. I think it was Edmonton. Now that I think about it, I think it was Edmonton was the last one with Gretzky.
Speaking of titles, Jordan 6 scoring titles, 6 NBA championships. So.
Again, 6 scoring titles?
Yes. He has more than that. He just won every year.
Corrected.
Yeah, he was good. He was pretty good, that guy.
Yeah.
All right. Cincy, Pitt, Colorado here on a Monday afternoon for everybody. Again, our premium plays, our gamblersroll.net. We'll be back tomorrow with Brian Biller and Matt Fargo for Doug, Chip, and myself. But thanks for tuning in here on a Monday. Good luck to you. Thanks, fellas. See you later this week.